Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Wednesday, May 12, 2021. BBC report. Israel-Gaza violence. The strength and limitations of Hamas arsenal. Israel is the vastly more powerful player in its air force. Armed drones and intelligence gathering systems enable it to strike targets in Gaza pretty much at will. It insists that its targeting is restricted to sites used for military purposes, but the density of the Palestinian population and the fact that Hamas and Islamic Jihad facilities are located close to, and often hidden under, civilian buildings makes the avoidance of civilian casualties altogether impossible.
CNN report. KFC is changing its packaging. Here's what it looks like. Kentucky Fried Chicken is rolling out new packaging this summer, joining other major fast food companies that are giving themselves a makeover. The chicken chain said the new look is a more modern take on the KFC's signature red and white colors. Colonel Sanders' head will still adorn the buckets, sandwich wrappers and cups, but the refreshed designs will more closely imitate its original signature bucket.
Fox report. Number of injured in Russia school shooting rises to 23. 23 people remained hospitalized on Wednesday following a school shooting in the Russian city of Kazan which killed 9 people, including 7 youngsters. All 23 were in stable condition Wednesday morning, the authorities said, though at least 8 people, 3 adults and 5 children, were to be transferred to Moscow for treatment. A gunman on Tuesday morning attacked a school in Kazan, a city 430 miles, 700 kilometers, east of Moscow, sending students hiding under their desks or running out of the building.
Deutsche Welle report. U.S. Republicans force Liz Cheney out of party leadership after Trump criticism. U.S. Republicans removed Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney from the party's leadership on Wednesday. Cheney was voted out as the House of Representatives' No. 3 leader after taking to the floor on Tuesday evening and speaking out against some fellow Republicans' belief that former U.S. President Donald Trump won the 2020 presidential election. Remaining silent and ignoring the lie emboldens the liar, she said in the nearly empty chamber.
CNN report. Why is one of Cuba's most rebellious artists still isolated in a government hospital? One of Cuba's most rebellious dissidents has spent more than 10 days in a closely guarded hospital in Havana, but it's not clear what, if anything, he is being treated for. Artist and activist Luis Manuel Otero Alcantara was on day 8 of a hunger strike protesting what he said was a campaign of Cuban government harassment against him when, before dawn, health officials transported him to a government hospital.
Al Jazeera report. U.S. Senator proposes $10 billion for NASA to include Bezos's Blue Origin. Senator Maria Cantwell is seeking to nudge NASA to reconsider its decision to reject Amazon Inc. founder Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin space venture for the lunar landing program. Cantwell, a Democrat who represents Amazon's home state of Washington, plans to add an amendment to a package of legislation aimed at bolstering U.S. competitiveness with China that would authorize $10 billion for NASA through 2026 to carry out the program, allowing other companies to take part.
CNN report. What Elon Musk's Aspergers comment could mean for the business world. 26 seconds into his Saturday Night Live monologue last weekend, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and second richest person in the world, opened up about having Asperger syndrome. It was a bold move, even for someone known for pushing boundaries in business and in life. The serial entrepreneur and founder of Tesla, Tesla, SpaceX and The Boring Co. sold his first company to Compaq for $307 million when he was 28 years old, then went on to help create the precursor to what would become PayPal, PYPL, before getting ousted by his co-founders.
Deutsche Welle report. EU court backs Amazon in tax ruling. EU competition chief Margrethe Vestager said Brussels would study carefully Wednesday's EU General Court annulment in favor of Amazon. The case may still end up before the bloc's highest chamber, the European Court of Justice, ECJ. In 2017, the EU Commission ordered the US retailer to pay €250 million, $300 million, in back taxes to Luxembourg, despite Luxembourg siding with Amazon. At that time, Vestager had argued that Amazon had profited from special low tax conditions since 2003 in Luxembourg, home to the U.S. giant's European headquarters.
Fox report. Panel suggests WHO should have more power to stop pandemics. A panel of independent experts who reviewed the World Health Organization's response to the coronavirus pandemic says the UN Health Agency should be granted guaranteed rights of access in countries to investigate emerging outbreaks. A contentious idea that would give it more powers and require member states to give up some of theirs. In a report released Wednesday, the panel faulted countries worldwide for their sluggish response to COVID-19, saying most waited to see how the virus was spreading until it was too late to contain it, leading to catastrophic results.
BBC report. Case that fueled Egypt's #MeToo movement shelved. A woman alleged in a social media post last year that she was drugged and gang-raped at the five-star Fairmont Nile City Hotel in Cairo in 2014. Following a 9-month investigation, the 4 suspects in the case have now been released, prosecutors said. But they added that the case could be reopened if new evidence came to light. In a statement, prosecutors said they had pursued the suspects last year by enforcing travel bans and issuing international arrest warrants for 3 of the men from Lebanon.
BBC report. Anger grows over rapist French mayor working from behind bars. The author of the article was the town's mayor, a 63-year-old former minister who was recently found guilty of rape and sexual assault. But despite his conviction, an appeal has allowed Georges Tron to continue to lead Drevale from his prison cell. And many people are angry. On Tuesday, a group of local activists held another protest in Drevale in the southern suburbs of Paris calling for Tron to be removed as mayor.
Al Jazeera report. Colonial Pipeline posted cybersecurity job opening before attack. Colonial Pipeline, the United States firm at the center of a major ransomware attack that has led to worsening petrol shortages and fuel hikes across the country, posted a job opening for a cybersecurity manager weeks before the hack forced the pipeline offline. The job posting for Colonial's manager of cybersecurity was still live on its website on Wednesday, 5 days into the company's response to the cyber attack.
CNN report. Cameroon jails 2 transgender women for attempted homosexuality. A court in Cameroon sentenced 2 transgender women on Tuesday to 5 years in prison for attempted homosexuality and other offenses after they were arrested for the clothes they wore in a restaurant, their lawyers said. A local social media celebrity known as Shakiro, who also is identified as Loic Njukum, and Patricia, also identified as Roland Mouth, were arrested on February 8. Human rights activists say their detention is part of the growing criminalization of sexual minorities and transgender people in Cameroon.
Deutsche Welle report. Cities widely unprepared for climate risks, warns study. Many cities lack a plan to tackle climate change, a London-based think tank said in a report on Wednesday. Among 812 cities examined across all continents, 43% had not yet drafted climate adaptation plans despite most being aware of the risks such as heat waves and flooding, CDP found. The group is backed by charities to encourage sustainable investments. While some cities are making progress, adaptation plans were urgent in many others to keep citizens safe in fast-expanding urban areas, the CDP stressed.
Fox report. Minneapolis to pay $35 million to police officers who left force amid George Floyd unrest. Report. Minneapolis leaders are working to sign off on workers' compensation packages totaling close to $35 million to be paid to former police officers who left the force amid the civil unrest that happened in the wake of the death of George Floyd last May, according to a report. Some 200 former Minneapolis police and firefighters left the department after claiming to have suffered physical injuries or post-traumatic stress in the fallout that occurred after a bystander video showing then Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck went viral, evoking consecutive nights of civil unrest that included the burning of the 3rd Precinct.
Fox report. Washington, D.C., police hacked, ransomware gang says negotiations reached dead end. A ransomware gang that stole data from Washington, D.C., police, and has allegedly leaked the personal information belonging to a handful of police officers in an effort to spur payment, has said negotiations with the agency reached a dead end. The Babuk Group, a Russian-speaking ransomware syndicate, said negotiation with D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department crumbled, with it rejecting a $100,000 payment, and it will release sensitive information that could put lives at risk if more money is not offered.
Al Jazeera report. Cats at work. U.S. city uses 1,000 feral felines to fight rats. In the United States city of Chicago, more than 1,000 well-equipped warriors have been deployed in the fight against rats, feral cats. Through its Cats at Work program, the Treehouse Humane Society has placed teams of 2 to 3 cats outside of homes and businesses as a way to keep the rodent population in check and the city healthy, calling it a green solution to the vermin problem. It seems to be working. So far, the organization said it has placed more than 1,000 feral cats, and there is currently a long wait list, stretching several months for more feline help.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. Recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.